Hi everyone. Let's briefly talk about current affairs, what's going on with the United States and Israel fighting with Iran. And there are a couple of things I just want to point out. One of them is these are men of a particular age who are involved in this sort of spearheading this conflict. And I'm just pointing that out to say that Americans need to welcome a new generation of leaders. They also need to welcome a new generation of leaders because there is clearly an institutional stagnation there. Because if you're fighting the same person or saying the same thing for 40 years, 30 years, there was a stagnation there. You didn't evolve. And I'm talking about Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu. And when it comes to Donald Trump also, with this Ayatollah situation, if you've been having issues with this guy for 40 years, 30 years, there is a stagnation there. So it's important to have new leadership coming in and basically new blood in the system. And the most interesting thing is people from the Middle East are very good at training their replacements. When you look at some of these terror organizations, some of the problems that the people who are fighting terrorism have is the issue of institutional resiliency. That's what it's called. This is they are able to train their replacements. So even if you take them out, there are like 10 other people who can replace them. So you take them out, a new person is put in place. Take them out, a new person is put in place, and they keep it moving. There is an institutional resiliency that they seem to have in these sort of terror organizations, in this sort of Middle Eastern type of organizations. And I think part of it has to do with religion, because the Christian religion is the same thing. There is a resiliency there for you to be able to basically spread the gospel. You do have to have an institutional resiliency such that there are very many people available who can do the same exact job one pastor is doing. So you have multiple pastors who can do the same job the Pope is doing. You have multiple clerics who can do the same job the head of the Muslim organization or church is doing, the mosque. So there is that institutional resiliency that seems to be there, and they're able to do that because of their religion. That's a personal opinion. It has to do with the religious part of their politics. So I'm just saying that it's time for a new generation of leaders to be welcomed by the American people and by generally almost everywhere around the world. It's time for a new generation of leaders. These men are above 70. They're in their 80s and they're still fighting. From when they were in their 30s, in their 40s, they're still fighting in their 80s with the same people. I mean, at some point, it's just, there's a stagnation there. And it's time for a new generation, new blood, new ideas, innovation. And there needs to be redundancy, and that's what elections are supposed to do. They're supposed to bring in new people who can do the exact same job the current people are doing, and you hope for better. They can do it better. They can bring in new ideas, new innovation. So the world in general needs to welcome new leaders. Also, America needs a regime change. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.